Hello, and welcome to Abbitt Media. Hopefully you can see me and hear me, and all's going well. Let's just check what's going on with the stream, get my chat up and things like that. How are we all doing? Let me know if you can hear me. It's always some sort of issue. Hopefully there's none today. It says excellent connection. We'll see how we get on. There's always something though, isn't there? Hello, Owen Sunny Ray. Nice to see you. Parrot 3Y, Pumpkin King, Asthalus, Sup Guy. Interesting. Render Rides, Manito 200, Corey S, Hercules Art. Few familiar names. That's nice, isn't it? All clear, loud and clear. Loving it. Thank you very much, guys. Good to see you all here. There are 90 people here already, which is great. It's very exciting. So we are sculpting a character. Oh, do you know what that's what I forgot to do. I was going to put a picture of it up here. Can I find that picture? Yeah, no, let me think. I'm just going to think. Let's go to, because we don't need the outliner. Never name anything anyway, so why would I bother? Let's change that to the the image editor. The image editor, and let's open up an image. Oh, it goes to the other screen, doesn't it? Not to worry. Where is my file? Where are they? I'll find them in a second. He's going to jump up here any second. Oh man, that's a lot of messy stuff you got there. Where the? Oh, this is just hopeless, and I'm not finding it. Need to drag and drop it in, don't I? There we go. YouTube. Why are they not in? It's because I've got some weird filter on, haven't I? That's. I'll get there eventually. Your lips are out of sync. Oh. Are other people noticing that? Are they badly out of sync? Is it really bad, or is it because that could be that would be a problem to sort out. That would that can be a pain. It's the cam link setup. It goes slightly out, but it should. I've kind of adjusted that, but no, they're not. That's all right. We're all fine. Cool. You just scare me. Stop scaring me. That's not nice. Who was that? Paul Taylor. Don't scare me. Okay, right. I'm going to find vertical list. Right. I'm just going to find the image so that we can. Why is that going by date and not by name? YouTube videos, thumbnails. I'm finding it eventually. And in there's no files. What the heck? It just took absolutely ages for it to load. Let's get the. I think this is the one. Oh, that's a PSD. This one. Right. Hey, oh dear, it took me long enough, didn't it? There we go. I think we can zoom out a bit. There we go. So we're making this character. So it's a follow along. So join the Discord server if you haven't already, and I'll get the Discord server up. Actually, I think I'm logged out at the moment. God, I wasn't prepared, was I? I forgot about the Discord server. Right. I'm just logging in. It's all. I've got it all under control. In hand, under control as well. Underhand is what you don't want, isn't it? What's my password again? I have to log out when I'm recording because it goes bidip, bidip, bidip all the time. So I'm logging out a lot at the moment. Oh, that's weird. I've been invited to join my own server. No, thank you. What's going on there? Right, what's going on here? Right. So the Discord server, live stream channel. Okay, so why is it not dragging now? There we go. So come in here and post your work. Yeah, it's stream time. There we go. Dorian Debani. Dorian Debani. Turn off the old man filter on my camera. I like it, actually. The old man filter, so I keep it on there. It does seem to be out of sync, doesn't it? Well, never mind. I'll refresh the screen. Oh, you're right, actually. It's what I'm looking at seems to be out of sync. Oh, no, yeah. Anyway, so today, getting there eventually, we are working on a cool little character like this, and so he's someone suggested for the competition theme. Alien fruits was this cool suggestion. I thought, alien fruits can have a weird, strange apple. It's actually turned into alien now, so we can just do aliens. But hopefully, you'll join in with me. Making a weird alien fruit. That's the idea. Okay, so then I should say thanks to Suffolk One for supporting me. It's my day at college, but obviously it's not on at the moment, and this is sort of for the students. So that's why I try and make it interactive, so my students can get involved if they want to. Have I got any of my students here? Probably not. They want to get away from me as much as possible. But that's the thinking behind this. This is a sort of practical session that you can join in with and have some fun with. So we are going to be sculpting this green apple. Now I'm using a Mobile Studio Pro. I've got my camera. Have I still got it set up? Yeah, doesn't matter. So I've got a drawing tablet that I'm drawing on, and I find that much easier when I'm sculpting. But you don't have to. You can do this with a mouse. So if you're using a mouse, let us know. Attack of the Green Killer Tomato. Corey, yes, indeed. Is Bracky one of your friends? I don't know Bracky personally, no. Polly Bloom. Is this going to be one of the harder follow-along sculpts? Well, it depends on your sort of creativity, artistic ability, and ability to use a mouse, if you're using a mouse, and so forth. Norman May, is it? I'm using a mouse, good. Anybody using I'm using a Wacom Cintique 16, in Sunny May. How much did that cost you, actually? How much is the Wacom Cintique 16 at the moment? What are we making? We are making this crazy character over here. That's what we're doing. So just giving people a chance to join in, get Blender open, get ready to go, and we're going to crack on in a second. I have got some reference images. I was just quickly suddenly thought, it would be really helpful to have some crazy weird reference images. So I've got these on my Pure Ref. I'm really I'm loving the Warhammer Fantasy Battle. I used to be well into this when I was like 16 or something. My brother was more into it than me. He had a dwarf army, but I had a goblin army. And I really wanted to be good at painting these things, but I was just hopeless. Didn't really have the patience for painting. And weirdly, here I am doing it in 3D in the programs. I don't know. I don't understand the twist of fate there. So I'm going to start with an apple, and it's going to have a weird mouth like that and turn out like that. Right, so are we ready, people? Are we all ready? I always do that. Press the middle mouse button. There we go. Move my references off to the other screen. So what do we got? Just seeing, and obviously this is a very sort of chilled out session where I chat to people, and I don't move very quickly, just to try and give people a chance to catch up. You're using a mouse. All these people are using a mouse. Cool, man. I use XP Pen Deco 2, and it's great. Where are you from? I'm from Ipswich. Well, roughly Ipswich. It's Martlesham Heath, actually. Ipswich, England, in the UK. Do you do animation? Yes. What is your preferred tea band? Rooibos? Don't do caffeine. Okay, so I think we're ready to go, because the chat's gone off on a tangent, and it's going off onto processes. I'm thinking of getting a new computer soon. I did contact a company to see if they'd sponsor me and give me a discount, and they said yes, and then they said no. They said yes, that's no problem, and then I said, I was hoping for a bit more than that, and they said no, and then it's sort of like, it's not happening now. I think they sort of used the coronavirus as their reasoning, which is fair enough, really, isn't it? I kind of support Ipswich Town Football Club, sort of. I'm really into football, but playing it much more than anything else. Where did I get those cool reference images? It's always Pinterest. I always go to Pinterest. Whoa. Thank you very much. So, Game Over. Sorry. I was trying to think of the name. I thought it just was Game Over. Your Get Good at Blender series helped me a bunch. Excited for this session. Love all the way from India. Thank you very much for your support. Much appreciated. It's supposed to come up on my stream at some point. It's been a bit laggy in that sense. I've been thinking about going across to Twitch. Have anybody thoughts about that? Let me know. Do I make character models for other developers? I make character models for...
Ooh, well,
yeah,
thank you
very much. Yeah. Night. Anyway, so let's begin, because it's been like, I don't know how long, and I haven't even started yet. So the first thing I do when I do a sculpt, I mean, you can go to the file, new, and sculpting, can't you? Like this, but I'm not going to do that because I'll lose my image. But the same thing you can do is just by pressing Control 4 here, and that will, what does that do, everybody? What does that do? First gold star of the day. Who's going to win it? What does Control 4 do? Who's going to get there first? Who's going to get there first? Oh, that's very exciting. Let's see. God, it's taken a while. Grant did some work for Atlas Empires. Yes, and they've got some more work for me, actually, so I'm going to be doing some more of that, and I'll be doing more videos on that as well. $500 for the Wacom Cintique. Yes, indeed, Hercules Art. You are there first. You've got a gold coin. I need a little graphic with gold coins coming down. I did a tutorial on that recently, so I should just use that, shouldn't I? So Hercules Art, the winner there. It adds a subdivision surface modifier. Let's go across to the modifiers over here. And it's got 4 iterations. Is that the right word? Subdivide by 4, actually, yes. So subsurf 4 is the proper correct answer. So Norman May, you get a gold star as well. This year, I like to mimic the classroom scenario because I'm missing college. No, I'm not. Right, so we've subdivided it. But if I go to sculpt mode now and I try and sculpt, it's not working. Why is it not working? Why can I not do anything? I get so many questions. Why can I not sculpt on my ball? And the reason being, tell me what the reason is. That was a sort of waiting for you to answer question. There's a little bit of lag, so sort of waiting around for answers, but you know. I don't watch Twitch, sorry. I wouldn't be able to watch you anymore. Can you stream on YouTube and Twitch? I mean, that is a possibility. That is a possibility. I've thought about it, and I may do that. Apply the subsurf. You were first, and it is Tin Cisco. You were first, gold star to you. So I apply the subsurface modifier, and that, when I go into edit mode now, you can see it's applied it. It's got a weird shape now because I did actually manage to sculpt just these vertices here, and it pulled it out slightly. Not enough topology is, and I'm trying to use the subsurf thing, yeah. I could use the multi-resolution modifier, but I'm not doing that today. There's been some advancements in that in 2.9, which is very exciting. I'm looking forward to that. You can't move backwards in the timeline while the broadcast is on, so it's not good for a follow-along stream, is it? Thank you, Josephine Barthel. That's useful to know. Okay, let's head across to sculpt mode now. Sculpt mode, here we are. And we're going to sculpt an apple. I think, yeah, we'll get the, what shall I do? Yeah, I'll sculpt it first. So we'll get the shape of an apple first, because apples, if we have a look, because this is the thing, most people think, oh, well, it's pretty much an apple as it is. You just put a stalk out the top. But let's actually look at an apple, and let's use our critical observational eye and look at this apple here. And you can see it's not actually very round. It's got that sort of apple shape. Very descriptive today. I could use dynamic topology. I might just use the remesh, actually. We'll see. We'll see. So it's fatter at the top, thinner at the bottom, and it obviously curves in. We've got some sort of ridges here. Ridges, would you call them? Sort of creases. We could use a crease brush for that. And a few lumps and bumps at the bottom here. Okay, so have a reference image. That will be helpful. I'm going to move mine to the other screen, but you might just want to type in Apple into Google. Depends how many screens you've got. I've got 3 here. I'm super lucky. I've got 3 screens, and one of them I can draw on. That's handy stuff, isn't it? Handy stuff, I don't know. Okay, so I think for this, I'll just turn on the y-axis mirror as well. So you've got mirror, or symmetry up there, I should say, not mirror. So whatever I do in the front here is going around to the side and the other side as well. And we created a weird bomb. I'm actually going to... No, it doesn't matter. So let's resize my brush and just use the grab brush for this. The grab brush, that's that brush there. I suppose if I pull out my brushes, that will help. And I haven't got the screencast keys on either, have I? God, that was tough to get that level. Right, screencast. Thanks to JNM for your screencast. He's just passed 100,000 subscribers as well. He's well. I'm surprised he's only got 100,000 subscribers because he's a great YouTuber. Check him out. So I'm going to pull it down with the grab brush. I tend to tap away with the grab brush like this, tapping away, and it was bigger out this middle bit, wasn't it? So I'm just always circling around my object, and if you've got a graphics tablet, middle mouse button, change that. Sorry, the pen button, change that to the middle mouse button, and then you don't need to hold down Alt and weird things like that and emulate 3-button mouse. Just get used to pressing that middle mouse button, and you're away. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're getting more of an apple shape now, like this. I feel like that end's going off that way a bit too much. Oh, I'll turn it, because I warped it really slightly at the beginning, it's gone off, so I'll turn it back on that. There we go. So I've got my rough apple shape there, okay? Oh, Steve Jobs alien. Ridiculous are very prototypical. Oh, I read that as ridiculous, but it's as in ridiculous. I don't know what I'm thinking. It's red delicious are very prototypical apples. Goodness me, what's wrong with me? I like Granny Smiths and Ambrosia. Then that's what you need to find, isn't it, Corias? You make tutorials even when you don't. Oh, yes. Good to see you again, Bacardi. I hope your night shift goes away. Oh, I just hate the thought of doing a night shift. That sounds dreadful. Not using Dyn Topo. I'm just going to remesh. I'm just going to remesh it up. That's how, yeah. No Dyn Topo today. Chef Blender just crashed. You may have... In fact, I don't know why it crashed. Your computer, probably. Okay. Hello, Red Dragon. Nice to see you. So, we got the apple. The basic shape. And that's always the first thing to do. Get the basic shape. Don't just start getting in here and doing some minor bits. Okay, let's go to the remesh and see what we've got. So the pipette here is very useful. So I'll click the pipette, or picker, some people call it, and see what resolution it is. I always think it should keep that remesh menu open, don't you? So it's 0.08. So I'm going to turn this down to 0.05, I think. And remesh. Pachow. Okay, so that's my remesh. Now I can start doing a bit more detail. So up the top here, let's dig it in a bit. Not there though, that was hopeless, that was, wasn't it? Just a little bit. There we go. And at the bottom here. There we go. Oh, it's very appley now, isn't it? Cool, super appley. Hopefully you're keeping up. Remember, get across to the Discord server. Let's just have a look at the Discord. Oh, it's up there. There we go. Look, it's an apple, Dorian Devani. Nice work, loving it. This is where I was up to, wasn't it? Cool. Okay. So that's what's happening on the Discord. More pear? No, actually, yes. If it was upside down. Now it's a pear. Now it's an apple. Pear, apple. It may be a little bit long, actually. It's a good point. Make it more round, more appley. Yeah, I mean, it does depend on the apple, doesn't it? It does depend on the apple. You've made me paranoid now, making it shorter. I don't want a long apple, do I? God, do that. Fate worse than death. Can you do more people sculpting follow-alongs? Yes. Yeah, I'll do that. Is YouTube your day job? Teaching's kind of my day job. YouTube sort of is my day job. I don't really have a job. I've just got lots of things that I do. Thank you very much, Kitticorn. Kitticorn Llama. I wish you were my actual teacher. Actually, I have a student who's called Caleb, weirdly. Every time I'm finishing my sculpture, the surface is not smooth as I want it. What is the solution to make smooth surface on the sculpt without using smooth brush? Shade smooth. That's the answer. Come out of you go into object mode, right click shade smooth, and it will look smoother. Also, I think they're doing some sort of filters as well in the latest versions. Actually, have I got them here, or is it 2.9? There's a slide relax, I can't remember now. Mesh filters, and there's a smooth on there which you can use as well. It's not a secondary school, it's a sixth form college teacher, so we don't tend to say school teacher, but college teacher, lecturer. No, I'm a teacher, yeah. Anyway, so the next stage, I would say, let's scroll back up. If you don't see all these brushes, by the way, I'm in 2.83, so it's the experimental build that's in beta at the moment. 2.9 is available now, but it's in alpha, so it could change all over the place and stuff. So I tend not to use it in tutorials because the interface might change slightly. Right, let's get on to the crease brush, I reckon. There's the crease brush and see what happens with that. Actually, I can turn symmetry off now. So we're going to distort our mesh slightly, bring the brush in. What's the shortcut key for bringing the size of your brush in? Obviously the size radius there, strength there. But what are the shortcuts? Tell me what the shortcuts are. Gold star going. There's a gold star coming along. Who's going to get it? Now, I've gone a bit too far with these creases. It's just gone too far. Gone too far, Grant. It might not be actually enough topology on here. What is it? Has anybody come up with the answer yet? What am I pressing to resize my brush? It is Shift F. Yes. Ha23 or HA23. I prefer Ha23. Ha23. That's how it's said. Ha23. Nice. Making an apple for the teacher. Indeed. Red Dragon, like it. So yes, Ha23, you have a gold star. Congratulations. Again, with those gold stars, be careful. Don't spend it all at once. It just goes crazy. crazy. It messes with your mind, the gold stars. Right, so at the bottom there, I'll bring back my reference. Bring back your reference. There it is. I'm feeling rather silly today. Am I coming across a bit silly? Okay, this is more, I suppose it's more me coming out. The more I do these things, the more of me comes out, and I'm a little bit just silly, just a bit silly. So it's got that sort of lumpy bumpiness at the bottom. A lumpy bumpy bottom. Not much crease on the top. Yeah, there's too much crease, isn't there? It depends on your apple. But yeah, you're right. Not that much. Okay, at any point you think, oh, it's not quite enough topology to work with. Go across to your remesh and bring it down. So I'll go to 0.04 now. Now be careful, because if you've resized or scaled your cube in any way, your remesh will be different to mine, because it's just voxel size is based on Blender units, I think. Yeah, because, there we go, meters. So it's in meters. So this is 4 centimeters, isn't it? Yeah, and that started off as a 2 meter cube or whatever. You know what I mean. Yeah, you know what I mean. So let's remesh and see what we got. Cool. How did you get your job as a teacher? That is the one time. I started off as an IT teacher, and then I moved around a bit, went into media studies of teaching, and then media production, which is actually sort of filmmaking, and then into games design, and then I was back into Blender, where I really am happy to be as well. I do like making films and stuff, but Blender's the awesome, isn't it? It's just awesome, Blender. Right, I'm doing the top now. Doing the top. Doing a dent for the stalk. There we go. So it's looking happily. It's looking happily. Bring that one in a bit more. There we go. Looking for some apples. So get the basic shape to this point. So using the grab brush first. So I'll answer some questions in a minute, then I'll give a pause so people can catch up. So grab brush first to get the shape, and use the mirror if you need to, the X and Y, just to get the very basic shape. Then you turn the mirror off and start giving it lumpy bumpiness, and then you go to the crease brush, I reckon the crease brush, and do some sort of creases down here and up here. This is making an apple 101, this is. And where was I? What was the next? Oh yeah, do these little dents. There and there. Okay, that's what we're working. Perfect, apple, perfect. It's the, yeah. I was going to try and think of apple puns, like apple of my eye and all that sort of stuff. But puns, dad jokes. Who wants them? Right, let's get across to the Discord and see how you're getting on. Right, let's go back to where I was. Where are we? Aha, that was the first one, wasn't it? From Dorian the Bunny. Nice. Minato 200. Good work, looking good there. Let's bring the screen out a bit so we can see them a bit bigger. That makes more sense, doesn't it? Urban Sunny Ray, nice. Hercules Art, that looks like a very nice, neat apple, doesn't it? Look at that. Where'd you get them ref images? Oh, I did say. Did I say? I probably started saying and then didn't say. So I just, the first one, right, let's go back to mine. There we go. Put that off screen there. So this lot, yeah, Pinterest, that was it, Pinterest. So the great thing about Pinterest, let's see, Pinterest, I think it's a great site. It's got its problems, but it's a great site because, let's go home, right? And this is, so I search for stuff, generally art stuff, as you can see here, and characters and all that sort of thing. So this comes up on my feed because it knows I search for that. So let's choose something like this assassin. Actually, this character's cool, I think. So the cool characters, and then it's got this algorithm that searches for other things that are similar to that. I don't know what the algorithm is, but it works really well. And then you can sort of get in this maze of cool character design. So there's another cool character there, whatever that is. And then you've got more cool characters. And then, so if I search for Warhammer Goblin, and then I think, oh yeah, some cool stuff happening here, like this cool character here, and then you get caught in this cool maze of Goblin characters, and then you can pin them to a pin board, and it's really great. Anyway, I'll minimize that because that's Pinterest, and I use it all the time because it's that good, I reckon. Let's get back to the chat. Cool, I've got lots of questions. So are we catching up, people? Are we catching up? Yeah, Pinterest. Did you study it in college? No, I didn't. I'm all sort of self-taught, if you can say that, but I'm not self-taught because I've looked at lots of YouTube channels. I didn't just go into Blender and play. I looked at lots of YouTube channels. And in fact, it was before, when I first started using Blender, it was before YouTube. and that was difficult. That was really, really tough. Is right click, for example, you think, why is nothing working? It's because you have to right click. No one tells you that, and there's no YouTube to tell you that. Oh, that was hard. Oh, that was hard. Anyway, back to Discord. Let's go to the Discord. Oh, I need my reference up there. Discord down here. Ah, right, there's more apples here. People just chatting away. Stop chatting in the live stream chat. No place for chatting, is it? I want to see work. Urban Sunny Ray, looking good. Oh, this is looking nice, isn't it? That's the emoji. That's a good one. I like that. Nice work. Minoto 200 is typing any minute now. It's coming through. It's coming through. It better be good. I'm excited. It's not coming, is it? It's not happening. No. Oh yeah, look, that's 2.7. Oh, disqualified. If you can, move over to 2.8 because there's so much more happening. But I appreciate you. It's not always the case because 2.8 does not work well without a graphics card, I find, or on a Mac, for example. Oh dear, Macs. Anybody using a Mac out there? Go on, I dare you. Tell us you're using a Mac. Yep, PureRef is the reference image tool that I'm using. And yeah, so the references, these are Warhammer characters, and I just want the cool sort of teeth. Look at them. Look at that one. Oh, and the paintwork. Yeah, awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff. Before YouTube. Yeah, I know that existed. There was a time before YouTube. It was years ago. Dark times, dark times. Right. Okay, let's move on then. Let's go to... So have we got an apple? We've got a sort of apple. We need the... We probably won't see the base of it, but I think we need to go a little bit more detailed now. So go in stages. So I've got this sort of base model now. Let's go remesh, and let's go down, or shall I go down 2 or 1? So 0.03 and remesh. We're getting smoother now. Oh, what am I doing? Bit more of a hole there. And we've got a sort of lumpy... What is that bit at the bottom there? Now, there's nowhere near enough topology there for those sort of details. So I'll go one more. But I need to do the mouth in a second, so I'm not going to go too much more detailed. So 0.02. But again, this is dependent on the size of your model. Did I remesh then? Don't think I did. Yeah, so we're getting a bit smoother for me, but it does depend all on the size of your model, like I keep saying. Right, okay, so for the mouth, actually, I did use the Dyne Topo for that, didn't I? So I am going to Dyne Topo. It's happening. Oh, HA23, there's a Mac user there. So... a Mac is over. Yeah, 2.8 is yeah. When it first started, it was laggy and there was issues, lots of bugs, but it's doing good now. Doing good now. Brain just went. I was sort of trying to think of what people are saying. Interesting. We're making apples, aren't we? And talking about Apple Macs. Oh, it's just coincidence. Do you think that was in our heads? The flower petals were. Is that... yes, that does make sense, doesn't it, Corey? Yes. Oh, wealth of information there. A MacBook Air is fine for sculpting. If you don't go above 1 million faces, yeah. That's surprising it can handle 1 million. Yeah, no, that makes sense, actually. Yeah, and then just keep remeshing, I suppose. That's fair enough, isn't it? And we can't all afford beautiful desktop computers. And stuff. Right, okay. I'm going to switch to Dyne Topo now because I'm going to make a huge mess basically, and I'm going to go back to X mirror. So let's start again. I'm going to do the mouth now because the mouth is going to be the crucial part, and it's sort of going to look a bit like one of these crazy characters here. So one of these crazy, maybe not quite that crazy, but maybe a bit crazy like this. And where's mine gone? Oh, it's because I went to sculpt mode, didn't I? Let's bring that out here so you can see what I've done. The UV image editor. Let's find my... There he is. Yeah, it's a lot plainer than those cool Warhammer ones, isn't it? But the mouth is quite a major part, isn't it? And the eyes. So if I start doing it with... well, first of all, put symmetry on. So X symmetry and go to front view so you know exactly where front view is. Because doing a mouth... Oh, draw brush, dig in. What's the shortcut? Shortcut to dig in. What is the control to dig in? Sort of gave it away there, actually, didn't I? Oh, that's weird. Oh, there's an undo bug in 2.83, and it's a real pain. So it undoes more than one command, so it turns symmetry off. So what's the button you have to press if you want to dig into your mesh? What's the button you press? What's the button you press? So I'm digging in like this. It's not doing too badly actually. Shift click. Oh, Monotto 200. It's not quite. Shift click. If I hold shift, that's, you can see it turn there. You can see my brush. As soon as I press on the canvas, it changes to the smooth brush. It is in fact control click. There you go. Control. I think. Yeah, Tin Cisco controllers it right there. Do you know, I completely forgot. I had my screencast keys on. Brilliant. But you get another gold star, Tin Cisco. Well done. Love it. Okay, so we're making a mouth. I'm going to get my reference images up again on my screen. They've just... they're down here. That's why. Right, and see how we're going to do this mouth. Oh, what sort of mouth am I going to go for? Up here like this. I mean, it's going to be covered in teeth anyway. I mean, I'm going to do it slightly different from this one because that's old news. That one is old news. So just digging in. So I was going to go down topper, but it's actually doing all right, isn't the remesh? You just have to keep remeshing, obviously, because can you see in here with the remesh, it's just stretching the topology. But then I come up here, I go to remesh and press remesh, and then it sorts it all out for me. Clever stuff. Let's make my brush bigger and dig in a bit more. There we go. Big fat mouth. There we go. And Pac-Man apple Pac-Man. Have you got a gold star as well, Ivan Atanasov? Did you get there first? I don't know whether you did. I thought it was Cinco. Anyway, Sinotto. Well, I can't remember who it was now. It's important. Tin Cisco. There we go. That's how it's come out on mine. Anyway, apparently I see slightly different to what you see. So who got the gold star? I need to know. I need a moderator who's going to tell me who got gold stars. How come my brush won't make a dent on my sculpting? Are you holding down control, Polybloom? If not, it might just be a bug. So come out of sculpt mode first, go back into sculpt mode and check. If that doesn't work, save your work, come out of Blender and go back in and check. It's more glitchy than it was in 2.79 to be fair, but it's worth it for 2.8. Okay, so with the mouth, it's got to be a bit more prominent than this. I made the mistake of making the eyes a bit too prominent, I think, although they look kind of fun. So let's just sort out the shape a bit. So with the grab brush, G to grab, F to resize, and then start moving my shape so that mouth is going to come out a bit more. And do we want sort of down up like that, down and up? So there's going to be sort of teeth coming out here, that's what I'm thinking. And then this lip coming up here, I reckon. And teeth coming out of there. Oh yes, teeth everywhere. You have to be careful not to distort the shape too much, because then it won't look like an apple. And we can't be having that, can we? Okay, let's just move that about. A little bit less in here. And we've got a mouth shape. Lovely mouth shape. Thank you, Almisha Khan. Strife burgers. When do you use grab versus snake hook? Well, in remesh, the grab and the snake hook are the same thing. You only use the snake hook when you're in Dyn Topo because it actually starts pulling out and creating new topology. So that's what you have to think about with the grab. The difference between the grab brush and the snake hook. The grab brush is this grab and the snake hook will do the same thing with remesh because we're not making any new topology with the snake hook tool. Hopefully that makes sense. So I don't think I answered that particularly well, but hopefully that makes sense. I'll send my work later on. Yep, do keep an eye on the Discord after the session. Hey, look at what's going on. It's looking really cool, actually. Okay, so what do we got? That's where I was last time. Hang on a minute, Ben. There's something fishy going on there. That looks more like a pear to me. Or is it a melon? I don't know. Oh, an orange. It's an orange, isn't it? Excellent stuff. I like it. Going in your own direction. That's the way, isn't it? Annoying in the classroom, though. Wilson, looking good. Oh, there was someone else actually. Who was that? Minotto, there we go. Nice work. Wilson. That's a Castaway reference. Anybody seen Castaway with Tom Hanks? It's a good fun film, actually. I like it. I couldn't, even that's sort of actually Will's son, isn't it? Because it's sort of single L in Castaway. I'm going off on one. Oh, Jalapeno Pepper, that's what it is. Quite right, Corey, yes. Thank you. I stand corrected. I like this. How's my Apple grant? Well, it's looking pretty good. I like it. It's Polybloom. Aye. Pink Fox. Morgan. That's a good one. I like those. Yeah, nice work. Monotto. It's getting a smiley face. How do I smoothen this out, Grant? Hold down Shift and sculpt across your mesh will smooth. And it's worth talking about the smooth brush in a second. Oh, that's looking good, Tin. We'll get there in a second. Minotto and Dorian Damani looking good. Right, so let's take a look, shall we? Let's take a look at the smooth brush. Right, so with the topology I've got at the moment, and I press the smooth brush, I press Shift, and you can see it sort of smooths out lightly, but it all depends, the smooth brush all depends on how dense your topology is, because it's sort of averaging out the distance. It's looking at the ones around it and then averaging out in terms of the location. That's right. So you got, let's say 4 there, 1 in the middle, and you say smooth, and it's up here, and it'll bring itself towards the middle of those other ones surrounding it. But if you've got a really dense mesh, then it's not moving them as far, is it? So the smooth brush won't move vertices as far, depending on how dense your mesh is. Okay? Making sense. All making sense, isn't it? Got it. Okay, so we've got a bit of a mouth going on. Let's think about the eyes next. Let's think about the eyes. Grab brush. The grab brush is one way of doing it. It doesn't have to be the grab brush. So let's pull some eyes in there. And pull some eyes in there. So you can use the grab brush, or you can use the draw brush and control and dig in like that. Okay, so we're getting some eyes. I feel like we need a bit of a dig in there, ready for the nose to come out. A little bit of smoothing, That's why I don't go too detailed to start with, because you suddenly want to smooth, and it doesn't smooth out as much as you'd hoped, because you've got too dense a topology. So let's, once you've done that sort of shape again, any major shape changes like the eye socket, we come up to the remesh and we remesh, and then you can see it's changed, and now we've got a bit more topology to play with in here. Looking pretty happy, actually. Can't be happy, can he? Might have to change the shape of that mouth in a bit. I kind of want it to look like these cool creatures I've got up here, but it's just looking happy at the moment. I'm going to bring his mouth open a bit more. Grab brush, resize. That's way too big. Resize, there we go. Down here. I want to experiment a bit, even though I'm live and you think, oh, keep it safe in case it all messes up, but you just got to go for it, and if it messes up, it messes up. You can all laugh at me, can't you? But you've got to experiment and got to have fun and mess about, do silly things. Even when I'm doing production work, I try and at least experiment with just a little bit in each model, just a touch. Obviously it's tricky because you're thinking, but the client and the expectation, all that sort of stuff, but still you've got to think about your own development and stuff, haven't you? It's a crazy apple. I think it's too wide at the bottom there, isn't it? Oh, tricky stuff. Somewhere around there. I'm just looking at my reference images as well, but I seem to be quite far off my reference images, to be honest. Okay, so we got this sort of apple-y object here, which looks a little bit weird. Save work? Yeah, it's not a bad idea, is it? Not a bad idea. Corey, yes, you can have a gold star. Let's just see what people are saying. ZBrush, I haven't tried ZBrush. I know someone was suggesting I give it a go, but I just haven't got the time to look into it at the moment. I know it's going to be better than Blender, because Blender seems to be trying to catch up with ZBrush, I would say. Right, Crazy Fruit Toot, as in tutorial. Crazy Fruit. Okay, save your work, guys, save your work. Sometimes the client doesn't know exactly what they want. God dear, don't you just know it? I don't know any clients that know what they want. In fact, working for Atlas Empires was cool because they had this awesome concept artist, and so I'm quite pleased that there's some more work coming from them coming up. So excited for that. And so he'd do all the artwork, so you know exactly what he wants, and it's really cool. That's when it gets fun. Although you lose a bit of creativity, I suppose, when it's like that. No, I'm not sure I'm doing very well with these things. Anyway, looks pretty good. Thanks. Doesn't feel it at the moment. Grant makes it so easy. When I just sculpt, I create abominations that come back to haunt my worst nightmares. Raymond, he's a good client. Yep, he knows what he wants, and he's drawn it out well. He's given me some concept art. That's what you need. The people that I get quite a lot of people contacting me and saying, "Well, what I want is something like," and then it's really rough and vague, and then you produce something, and it's not quite what I wanted, and it's all very difficult. But what can you do? You need to be very communicative with those people so they understand exactly what's going on. I should never write on any live streams. Never write on any live streams, but this is so cool that you do a follow-along stream. Oh, I see. Never write as in post anything. Thank you, Marvin. I appreciate that. It's just good fun, isn't it? You get to sort of hang out in a weird way, sort of teacher student, and it is thanks to Suffolk One as well, because they were encouraging of me doing this. This is my day where I'm supposed to be teaching, and they thought, well, yeah. I thought, why not do a live stream, and then lots of people can get involved. I don't know whether there's any actual students here, but they might be just hiding, or they may have just thought, yeah, I had enough of Grant. Okay, so the next stage then is to put in some eyeballs, I would say. So let's go to layout mode. I find this easier in layout mode, and then I can shift right click to move my cursor to that point. So shift right click, shift right click like that. Shift A to add, mesh, and always use the UV sphere. I'll show you why. In my opinion, this is. Scale it down so that's the right size. Rotate in the X 90 degrees. Scale it down, rotate in the X 90 degrees. Can you see why I'm using a sphere? Because you've got a sort of pre-made eyeball in a sense. Thank you very much, Vidutam Katkar. Loving the tutorials and live stream. Oh, yes. Now, it's really important to put a sphere in there, because you don't really know whether the eyes are working until you put the sphere in. What I need to do is do a mirror modifier. So come across to the add modifier, mirror, object, get the little pipette, and choose the apple. And we've got two eyes, and it'll always mirror around the apple whichever way I move it. So if I grab this and rotate it, the mirror doesn't quite work because of the object center. Isn't the object center? Actually, I don't know why that's not working. Surely that should work. Oh, so it's because it's mirrored in the x-axis, and then the x-axis was, yeah, forget what I said there. What an idiot. What an idiot this guy is. I don't know why I'm watching him. Okay, so we need to tidy up the mesh a bit, so he's a more crazy apple, and get a bit more flesh into it. Let's look at the Discord server before we do that, though. There we go. Oh, it's all happening now, isn't it? Oh, you might need to remesh to a bigger voxel size on that one. You might want to undo it as well. You'll be up to here, won't we? Up to here. A Adre Lasbart, looking cool. Let's get some eyes in there now. Why am my topology so low? Just remesh it so it's a lower number, and you're there. How do I fix this? Fix what exactly? Looks pretty cool to me. I suppose I'd bring that bit back a little bit. Tricky to say, really. Depends what sort of style you want. There, yes, that's the one. Leftover tofu. I like it. It's a killer, isn't it? The voxel remesh. You've just got to figure out what size it is. If you scaled at the beginning, then you're stuffed, really. Apple Monster. That's looking similar to mine, actually, isn't it? Dorian the Bunny, like that. I think this is a good one. Remesh at this point, so you can get more topology inside the eyes. You may want to smooth out a bit as well. Just smooth out a little bit. That's good. That's a good one, that. Doing well. Morgan, looking good. Oh, they look a bit like pumpkins there. Hey, like it, Ben. That's a good one, isn't it? Like that. It's either the banana or the jalapeno. Jalapeno, I should say, shouldn't I? Right. Why should I say that? They are from... I don't know. Let's... now, that's a common mistake people make. They still have the eye selected, then they go back to sculpt mode, and they start sculpting. And they think, why is my mesh not moving? My eyes are. And then you war like this. That's quite funny, actually. He could have funny eyes, couldn't he? Like that, perhaps. As if he's looking down on, maybe it's a giant apple in this. So yeah, anyway, going off on one. So go back to layout and choose the apple, and then go back to sculpting, and then we're ready to go. Okay, so we've got to sort the eyes out and make them fit in with our mesh a bit more. So let's move it back into position. And he's going to have eyebrows. So I'll go to the draw brush for that. I always want to use the draw brush for eyebrows. Make it fairly big. And I say eyebrows. Yeah, that is the brow, isn't it? The brow. Don't mean the eyebrows as such, the brow. And there we go. I'm making him frown, so come down. And that's that classic eyebrows like this. Look. And he's looking cool. Let's get a nose now as well. There's a nose as well. He's going to have a sharp pointy nose like this one. And can you see my mesh is starting to stretch a bit? So what do we do? What do we do when the mesh stretches? What do we do? What do we do? I'll save my work now. That's a good idea, Mark Knight. You can have a gold star then. That's the last one I'm giving for saving work comments, but still keep making them. What do we do when it stretches like this? Can you see that stretch there? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Remesh, Minotto 200, you got it first. Gold star for you. I mean, they're pretty obvious ones. People out there probably thinking, well, I'm not even going to bother answering because that's just so obvious. But you do get a gold star. That's the major thing. So let's go up to the remesh and remesh. Pow, ciao. Always come around to the side because it might look a bit weird. So you may have gone a bit misshapen more so than you'd like. So watch out for that. He's an evil apple. Evil apple. Yeah, why did I start singing What to Do with the Drunken Sailor? It was going in my head and it was just sort of coming out. I don't know what was going on there. And well done to those others that got remesh as well. Looks like Geodude. I'm so not up with the memes. More so than my wife, though. I always, look at this funny meme. She's, well, what do I read the text? Or what's that? Who's that then? Oh, dear. I'm overly critical because it's not that bad, really. I always just share dog stuff. We've got a dog, so it's always funny dog. Look at this funny dog. Why am I going off on that one now? Oh, going crazy, aren't I? Going crazy. Right, let's have a look at the Discord then. See how you get on. Not much happened since the banana. A banana. What's that? Minions movie, isn't it? Banana. The Minions movie. I only watched a part of it and I got a little bit bored actually. That's a good one. Adre Lesbard. Yeah, that's a good one. I like it. It's similar to mine. It's cool. I'm liking it a lot. Oh, Geodude Pokemon. I see a Pokemon. I never was a fan of Pokemon, but I suppose I was a bit older when Pokemon came out, so it was a bit sort of, Pokemon. You haven't missed loads. We're up to this point here. So we've taken our basic cube. So yeah, to refresh, if you're new, if we just joined us, 220 roughly people watching. That's great. So if you've just joined us, what we are making is an apple like this one. So crazy fruits. Alien fruit was the sort of theme that was going through my head, and I thought it'd be quite a fun one to sculpt. It's quite kind of an easy one to sculpt as well because you've got a circle and it's only a sort of silly character, so it doesn't have to be too detailed, all that sort of thing. So we're doing this character over here, and this is as far as we've got. We've taken a basic cube, we subdivided it, applied the subdivision, and then started messing about. We keep remeshing and you keep going lower and lower each time you go along, and you can see people's progress. This is quite a good way of showing the process really. We start off with basic shapes like this, then we remesh and we add, when we get to it, a bit of a shape to our apple. So we shape it like this, a bit of a dent at the top and all that sort of thing. Then we add the mouth. Look at that. Lovely stuff. Then we add the eyes, and then we remesh, of course. Keep remeshing to sort of sort out the topology, give yourself less stretch, and then we're getting to this point with the eyes, and then we've got a bit of nose going on there. Then we got more. We're slightly backwards up there, and then we turn into a banana suddenly. You're messing everything up, Ben. You're messing my. It's good though. It is good though. I like that. Even though you're messing everything up. This is a good one as well, isn't it? Hercules Art, loving that. And trying to catch up. Excellent, Manu. Awesome stuff. It's sort of like, ah! I know, why do I feel like necessary to make stupid faces into the camera? Oh, accidentally made two faces. It just appeared on the other side. Yeah, how can you sort that out? You can't actually. I suppose you just smooth it all out. But kind of crazy apple with a second face on the back. Oh, disgustingly weird. Okay, let's quickly save on Blender. Now, common problem when you're sculpting, especially when you're doing faces. It's really common when you're doing faces. We go a bit too flat at the front. So can you see it's got it sort of very sort of square across there? And if you look at your face, it sort of goes a bit more around the corner. As you can see there, the eyes are sort of a bit more indented. Well, I suppose the nose comes out. It's not that bad, but just a bit more curve. Especially for this apple, because he looks a bit square now for the apple. So we're going to go a bit more curve for this. It might not work so well. Well, we'll see. But watch out for not having curve. I see loads of sort of flat faces, and then they're almost square. And people saying, oh, how am I getting on? Really well in front view. Really well. Oh, loving that front view. Anyway, so what I've done is just pulled those back really slightly. Very, very slightly. It wasn't that bad, to be honest. I give that example, but I'm sort of used to it, so I'm doing it automatically. Still need a bit of sorting of the eyes, I think. Shit. I haven't got eyelids on mine, and it might just confuse things to put eyelids in. So we'll just dig in. Oh, I didn't realise on the grab brush, draw brush. We'll sort of dig in a bit here, give it sort of pointy nose. Oh, I might have gone too far there. And bring the eyes into a socket. Probably going back there, actually. Now his eyes are really popping out. Oh, it's crazy. I'm probably going too far now. Messing it all up, aren't I? There. That's better. Oh, what's that? Okay, now I think... I don't know, actually. I feel like it's not working in the middle here, so maybe I'm going to make him frown even more. It looks really evil now. So we come out like this, and then up and round. Shouldn't stick out too far, so it's just sort of sticking over the eye a bit like this. I'm not sure that's working. Maybe his eyes are a bit too far. So I suppose that sort of evil character look will probably have closer eyes, closer together eyes, especially if you've got a pointy nose. So I might do that. Go back to layout mode and move my eye. So G to grab in the x-axis to about that sort of distance. I think that might do us a bit better. Yeah, okay, that back to, not back to sculpting mode yet. Click on the thing, click on the actual fruit, and then back to sculpt mode. Now we can start moving these in a little bit. I'll use the grab tool. Why am I using the draw brush? Hopefully I haven't gone too far on this bit and confused people. But we're just sort of going for that frown of a look there. And that didn't look so good. Now it's all gone wrong. It was looking alright earlier, and now it's dreadful. So I'm going to crease the top here. Oh, actually, I'm going too fast. I'm going too fast. Stop. Slow down. Slow down. Right. So crease brush is when you start sort of drawing lines in. So that's where you get a bit more detail in your character. And I like to go across the crease brush sort of midway through. It's a sort of mid-level detail thing. And then you can start sort of creasing out areas as if you're drawing or sketching, sort of like the deep dark lines you can sort of draw in with the crease brush. So think of your crease brush as your pencil in a way. Okay, so a bit around the nose and a bit around these eyes, just to sort of give them a bit more obvious shape, an eye socket. And hopefully that makes sense. I might have gone a bit too fast there, sorry. It just didn't, it wasn't working for me. See, then you want to work on it and then you forget that people are watching, so sorry about that. Yep, so we can go for some creases in here as well. The only problem is it's symmetrical, so it ends up looking a little bit weird. And we'll do a remesh. So when you get a bit more detail, do a remesh. We might have to go a bit higher with the retopology, the voxel size, sorry, lower with the voxel size so we get a proper remesh next time. Okay, so I'll give people a bit of time. Forehead creases. Yeah, probably forehead creases. Coming in like this. It's sort of getting there. It's pretty odd looking, isn't it? Bring the brow down a bit. Yeah, that's true, isn't it? Yeah, I like that. Thank you, Corey. Yes, I like your point there. I like your point. It needs to come down loads, isn't it? Oh, that's better. I couldn't see it myself. It's weird, isn't it? You just think, there's something not quite right. Ah, look at that. See? Just suddenly we're there. Ooh. I was trying to think, what is wrong with this piece of rubbish that I've done here? That's a kind of a good point, actually. Just taking breaks is important. Certainly taking breaks is really important, but also not getting too stressed and just play around, mess around with the shape, and you just slowly get there. And that's what I found when I was first doing sculpting, and I was practicing doing Sculpt January and stuff like that. And you spend ages and ages, but then suddenly you think, oh, it's emerging now, it's getting there. Just keep at it, keep working at it. And if it's still not working, then do something else. As in, go away, come back, sculpt something else, call it a day. Shall I save? All right then. Okay, so we're sort of getting there. I feel like it's gone a little bit haywire. Let's go back to the Discord and see how you get on. It's looking good. There's the two-face one. Minotto, it does look a bit pumpkiny. That's a bit of a danger with this, that it does look like a carved pumpkin, doesn't it? That's an interesting one, isn't it? That's like a Frankenstein type one with this skull. I don't know why I thought Frankenstein, but it's not Frankenstein, is it? It's Frankenstein's monster. Oh, how often do you hear that? It's not actually Frankenstein. He was the doctor, the creator, or whatever. Not doctor. Dr. Frankenstein? Yeah, don't know. Right, I'm going to go a bit more detailed now because I want a bit more on the lips. So he's got some lips. And is it low poly? No, it's high poly, in fact. Tarbash, the Egyptian magician. I suppose, you can see down here, there we go, there's our poly count, and we're at 50,000 faces, so quite high. You'd retopologize if you were turning this into a game asset. Hello, KTB, nice to see you. So let's remesh, and let's go lower, 0.1. Is that going to be enough? You can see the topology there. I think we're getting there. Don't want to go too far because I've got still a lot of shape to do with the lips. Right, I'm having a look at my models and looking at their lips, and they've got a lot of gums showing, which is quite fun. So I don't know, it might be a bit too detailed there. That's always my difficulty, especially when doing a stream, is thinking, oh, but that's too detailed, and I might lose some people. But we'll do some lips like this. So simple lips coming out like this. And they should sort of dig in a bit here, really, if you're thinking about a face, a normal face, and then come out here with a cheekbone. But it's so minor, it's very difficult to see. Rate difficulty from 1 to 10, yes. This, I would call it I'm finding it harder and harder to do that because I'm using Blender all the time, every day, over and over. So you sort of lose track of what is actually difficult and what isn't, because you just, I suppose, like, is breathing difficult, sort of thing. But some babies have to sort of be smacked, don't they, to start them breathing and things. So it's not that easy when you're first born. That was a weird analogy, sorry. So I'm doing some lips, so just following this sort of weird lip line here. And can you see my smooth is not doing as much, not having as much influence now, because I retopologized or remeshed to a lesser degree, as in lower number and therefore more polys. That is to answer a question that we had earlier about my mesh not looking as smooth. Then remesh and go over and sort of smooth it out, or use the mesh filter if you're in 2.83, the latest version. Okay, so we're getting there. We've got some sort of lips. These are a bit weird. I'm not sure about these, but I'm seeing them on these really cool characters that I'm seeing on here, so I don't know whether that's going to work at all. So there is going to be a bit of a gap before the teeth. So let's use the crease brush for that. Come in and I can just mark my crease in here. Crease brush works the opposite, of course, to the what am I trying to say? What is the opposite to the other draw brushes? In the sense that it naturally goes in. You can change that down here. Direction, add, and it's subtract is its default. Oh, learn something new every day, don't you? That's amazing, Grant. You should be a teacher. I like to talk to myself every now and again. I'm not on Dyntopo. We're doing it all with the remesh at the moment. I'm not sure quite why I'm avoiding Dyntopo, but just for the sake of doing it slightly differently to how I often do. How detailed do you go before you retopo? How detailed before you retopo? Ah, I see. So before before you it's no longer suitable for games, you mean, sort of thing. So it really, I would say, it massively depends on the platform you're going to show it on. So if it's on mobile, then it's going to be really way down, and you're looking at about 1,000 polys at the most for a character. But if it's for a AAA game, apparently they got up to 70,000 polys these days. Obviously that'd be a really detailed character, but for something like this, I think you'd probably go to about 1,000 polys and still maintain the shape. Nah, actually maybe 2,000. What course shortcuts have you assigned to your pen tablet buttons? Yeah, I mean Control, Alt, and Shift, but I've got my keyboard right here, so I just have my hand on my keyboard, and so I don't really use the buttons on my tablet, except when it's mobile, and then it's Control, Alt, and Shift, and centering. Although now you can press Alt, middle click, and center, and get your camera centered, and that's lovely, that is. Please make live tutorial about character creation. I have done Master VEIKK. It's on the Fridays. Although we've pretty much got there actually with that. I suppose there is the texture painting, so I'll probably do that next. There we go. Thank you, Corey S. Yeah, I gave up on assigning tablet buttons, and also I get sent tablets to review, and then I have to reinstall the software and I have to reassign my buttons, and just yeah. But it's nice to get sent stuff for free, of course, so not complaining. Just going to make this lip a bit thicker, just a tiny bit thicker. But your top lip, if you go like this, not that, oh, don't do that, Grant, that's horrendous. But it thins out, as you can see there, thins out. So it shouldn't be sort of too thick, is what I'm saying. But then you get sort of slobbery dogs, and yeah. Anyway, so we've got a bit more shape here. Can you see that shape happening? I feel like it needs a bit more of a dent in here. You see that? Maybe more with the crease brush. I'll have a look at how people are following along in a second. Bit of smoothing out and a remesh. Pachow. Love the remesh. He's looking kind of fun at the moment, isn't he, at least? There's always just tiny sort of blobs like this, which are quite a pain. What are they? They're a pain. So you get your grab brush and just even things out. Make sure it lines up how you want. We need some teeth in next, don't we? That's what we need. What did I miss? Arrived just now. So we have created this weird apple character, and we'll go across the Discord and we can see the development stages, which is quite cool. Leftover tofu. Base mesh looking good there. That's looking quite cool, isn't it? Man who? It's looking less appley, but I think it's pretty cool, and it's nice and quick. Manahu, you've been sculpting for a little while now, haven't you? Did all the Sculpt January stuff and things as well, didn't you? That looks pretty cool. Oh, did you just draw that? That's really cool. Love that. I like the idea of the leaf being some hair that's coming down like that. If only we'd had you here earlier, we could have used that as our guide. What do I mean? You know the word. My brain starts going after about an hour of streaming, and we've had about an hour, so just anything can come out now. We've got some great stuff here, looking really cool. Oh dear, scary stuff. So yeah, I'll go back up to sort of the beginning-ish. So we start off with a basic shape like this. Then we moved and we just sort of bulk that shape out. So we turn off symmetry, bulk the shape out with sort of, give it character as it were, a bit of variation, bit of organic nature feel, looking good there. And then we started adding a mouth and then some eyes. Jumped ahead with the nose there. Mouth and eyes, which you can see here. And then we remesh and it all went weird. Put your voxels down. And then the nose. And then we put some eyeballs in. They're just UV spheres. It's always best to do that. Add UV spheres instead of trying to sculpt your eyes in. Is that it's just nice to have that reference that is completely round and smooth, like an eyeball. And then it turned into a banana. And then it just kept developing. Manahu went from this to something really cool. Which is... Oh no, I thought that was Manahu's then. Lots of people are using the different Met cap. I'll show you how to... Oh, that's a nice one from Andre Lasbard. It's looking good, looking cool, very square, but it's getting there. Might want to, you're probably using Dine Topo by those things. Yep, there we go, Dine Topo. Oh, just so, what on earth happened? It's one of those things where you look at it and you're going, oh, I can't work out, I can't do it. Looking cool, look at this stuff, I tell you. Need to hand out some more gold stars when it's done. And that's just brilliant, love that. And then Manahu's looking really cool. What have we got here? Oh, I see. That's a cool idea. Thank you very much, Leftover Tofu. Never too late. Shared his base mesh. Shared their base mesh. Sorry, I don't know if it's a he or she. It's a great idea. I love the community spirit. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Isn't that cool? What a community. That's cool as well, isn't it? Oh, that's this. Yeah, the one I keep saying is cool. It keeps getting cooler. And then we've got some crazy eyes. And then we've got a crazy face from... They look like arms reaching out, but they're actually ears. And before anybody asks, that glove is for it's a graphic tablet glove that then you can sort of go across the screen and it doesn't leave any smear and smudge and dirty hands and all that sort of stuff. Let's just see what people are saying. Yeah, the stem and leaf effect is certainly going to help us with the apple later on, so we'll get there. Save your work, people. Save your work. Yeah, I should save my work now as well. Now, having a look, it's always good to look from all different angles. Make sure it's working all right. And I think it's time to add some teeth in, don't you? Do you think it's time? Oh, I think it's time. Is it time? Actually, there's one other thing to do. But it doesn't happen. It can happen now or later. But... get your draw brush and some nostrils. Just draw in some nostrils. Once I've done this, I like to give it a little bit of a nostril there. I tend to sort of draw in and then smooth out. It's the kind of way I do it, but I mean that everybody has their own sort of style. Just going to go to the crease brush and give that a bit of a crease around here. Crease in here. And there we go. Nose. Why am I saying things in weird ways? Oh, what's wrong with me? There it is. Oh, I've got the crease brush on still. I think, what's going on? It's creasing. It's going weird. There we go. A bit more pointy. There we go. And I might make it a bit crooked as well. So I'll turn symmetry off in a bit. But it's sort of got a bit of in and out feel to it. And of course you can turn symmetry off, get the grab brush, and then and give him a crookedy weird nose. Something like this. I've gone too far with the nose now, but still. Got a crookedy weird nose. It's fun, isn't it? Can you show me the shortcut of all the brushes? I don't use the shortcuts, I just sort of come up here and do that. I mean, there's obviously shift to smooth, and it will actually, we don't do that for the inflate. Holding down shift and brushing will take you to the smooth brush. That's weird. Sometimes it jumps to the smooth brush, sometimes it doesn't. G is grab, I know that much, because sometimes I press it by accident. Is D draw? No, it isn't. So, don't know. I just come across here. Snarly look, exactly that. Snarly look. I feel like I want to... Yeah, I'm going to go too far. Let's get the teeth in first, because there's a tendency to really go for it, and then you put the teeth in, and you think, oh, it's not working. Why is it not working? And you have to change the shape around. So let's get back to layout mode. and we're going to put some teeth in. So shift right click. Oh, I do actually put my other button, that one, to right click. Can you see that? So middle button is there, the first one, pen tablet button 1, because most pen tablets have 2 buttons, and then right click being the back button. So shift right click. It took me a while to get used to holding the pen so that the button, so I could press that button, but after, I don't know, maybe an hour or something, suddenly you think, what was I so fussed about? So fussed about. Any other questions? Before we add a tooth? So probably the easiest way, Shift A to add mesh cube. Actually, yeah, cube. Scale it down, of course, because it's massive. And move it into position. Yep. Okay, so Control 3 to add a subdivision surface modifier. Control 3 and then apply. And now we're ready to sculpt that. Although actually, we probably want to mirror. No, we'll mirror it in a second. Because actually, you can't. Can you mirror? You can mirror and remesh. Can you mirror and remesh? I can't remember. So I'm going to add the mirror just to try it out. Because we'll be doing this in a second. So I add a mirror. And mirror object, get my pipette and choose that so it's across the other side. So when I go to sculpting, it is still there. What happens when I remesh? Do we want to remesh that low? Probably not, actually. 0.3. Oh yes, because I've scaled it, isn't it? So it's doing the voxel remesh with a scale and stuff. Is yeah. Always forget that. You should set your scale before sculpting. Remesh. Okay, so it's doing it at the moment. It did remesh and mirror. I'm surprised. I wasn't sure it's going to do that. Let's get the grab brush and make some big crazy teeth. Now actually, this would be better for die and topo because pulling it upwards like this, but the die and topo, when you tick on that and disregard the warning because it's about UVs, that is working with the mirror modifier. No, it isn't. There we go. It disappears because it doesn't like mirror. It doesn't like mirror modifier. If I go to it doesn't come up with a warning, but I thought it did. Oh yeah, not supported in die and topo. There you go. So let's make, so I'm using the grass. So this is the, we had this question earlier, didn't we? How to toggle between low and high subdivisions while in sculpting using the multi-resolution modifier Blender Boy. So we had this question earlier. Why use the snake hook instead of why use the grab brush instead of the snake hook? But I was on the remesh option. So die and topo, snake hook will only work with die and topo. So now I've got the snake hook on, I can pull out and it actually creates geometry for me. And you see it creating that geometry. Oh, where's my middle mouse button? I feel like I want to turn the die and topo up though. I always use constant detail. I find it much easier to manage. Let's get the pipette and just see what it is at the moment. Not that one, that one. 21, so I'll go to 30, I think. And create some teeth. If for some reason you end up with a really small bit at the top, you can always use the inflate where the hexagon, inflate. Ooh, forgot to press the button there. Inflate, and it inflates it, obviously. And holding down control will deflate it. Okay, I don't know why I found that funny. Let's see about making a tooth. There goes the dog. He's going crazy. He's going crazy. Someone came to the door. I think we have a delivery. Can you hear the dog? It was relatively quiet, actually. That's quite surprising. Okay, so we've got a tooth, and whoa, that looks dreadful, doesn't it? So I want to bring it out here. You see, when I move it around, it distorts and rotates. Let's get the brush tool settings. That is it the rake, actually? Yeah, it is the rake, isn't it? Yeah. So if I turn that off, it doesn't turn as much. That is right, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to remember, actually. Yeah, because there's topology rake, that's right, yeah. So this rake does that sort of bendy bit like that. If you smooth out the top as well, it will come in and it will sort of make it into a spike, but that's actually sort of dangerous because it's sharp. That's dangerous because if you're trying to draw on it and stuff, it sort of changes and messes things up. So you try and avoid those sort of sharp spikes by using the inflate. Like that, and then I'll smooth it out a bit, there we go. So he's got a tooth going off like that. I can go back to layout mode and reposition this. Notice the mirror came back then. And these teeth are weird, aren't they? Rotate by the Z. Rotate by the Z more. Needs much bigger gum line, doesn't he? Oh, thank you very much, Fat Gaming Kiwi. You're the best Blender YouTuber.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. An Elder Scrolls Orc, yes indeed. Yeah. I always seem to gravitate towards that weirdly, actually. Maybe it's sort of too much of the Elder Scrolls and all that sort of Skyrim and stuff. Actually, it's more sort of just general Warhammer's had those sort of... Actually, is it Warhammer or World of Warcraft probably that has that sort of... Orc? I'm also looking at my reference images, which has some cool teeth there. Look at those. Amazing. Yep, so thank you very much, Fat Gaming Kiwi. It's nice to hear that I'm the best Blender YouTuber, although I've known it for quite a while now. None of that donut guy. Okay, I'm going to go back to sculpting. And let's see if we can't... now when I go to layout mode, back to sculpting, the Dyn Topo turns off, so watch out for that. Just going to sort this out a little bit, resize, and sort this tooth out a little bit. Smooth out where necessary. A bit lumpy at the moment. We can up the detail and give it some more smoothness in a bit. Okay, so it's got that sort of okay look. It's not brilliant. Not brilliant. We'll get there. You'd think things like teeth would be quite simple, but not the way I do them. Make them very awkwardly difficult. I think we can get a bit smoother on the top. Let's inflate. There we go. Looking at my references, thinking about... I think it's probably a bit too fat at the bottom, so I'm going to, with the inflate tool, hold down control, so deflate it. There we go. I think we're looking a bit better now. Cool. Okay. Right, let's have a look at the Discord. People adding their teeth yet? Oh, we haven't had a few for a while, so get posting, people, get posting. Or did I lose a few people there with the teeth? So what I did, I might have gone a bit fast perhaps, so Control S to save. So I added a cube, same way we started, and it's a good idea to go round at this point. So that's what I was thinking with this sort of bit here, that it was a big sort of tooth area, but it probably needs to come out there as well for the gum, so we're sticking out. So I added a cube, subdivided it, then started sculpting it with Dyn Topo this time. Now Dyn Topo, that's probably where I went a bit fast, wasn't it? Dyn Topo creates topology. So am I still on my tooth? So we can now come in and sculpt and use things like the snake hook tool and pull things out like that. And you can see it actually creating topology there. So that's what's different about the Dyn Topo. But what I didn't really say very clearly is that I'm using constant detail. So change your brush to constant detail. That means it will always stay this resolution. And then I can use the picker to pick the resolution. So I know what it's set at, and that's at 48. It's interesting because it was 50 a second ago. No, I set it to 30. So just so you know what resolution it is, and then so 50 is the resolution that I'm using. But I have scaled this, so my numbers might not be the same as yours. So just look whether it's coming out the same as mine. Yep. This is actually an apple. We need a core in there soon, don't we? I'll put the core in now, shall I? Because whilst people are catching up with the teeth, I'll just quickly do a core. So layout mode, and then shift right click, shift A, mesh, cylinder, comes in really big, scale it right down, scale in Z, and then GZ. There we go. It's not quite in the middle. And it's sticking through a little. Actually, that's all right, isn't it? Oh, do you know what I forgot? That was stupid. I'm going to do that again because I don't want a cylinder with 32 vertices. That's just pointless, isn't it? I suppose it doesn't really matter that much because we're high poly, aren't we? So let's change the verts to 12 will be enough. Because I'll probably add a subdivision surface modifier to smooth it out anyway. Scale to Z. There we go. Okay, I mean we could even sculpt the stalk, but there's probably no real need. Somewhere around there, into edit mode, I'll quickly isolate it and then I can select / on your numpad to isolate it, and then scale that bottom down. You can tell I'm sort of thinking, oh, I need to go a bit quicker because I might not finish. Should finish. I've got 40 minutes. It doesn't have to last 2 hours. It just tends to. So now Control R, do a couple of loop cuts there, and then Alt left click, G to grab. Hopefully this is nothing particularly new what I'm doing here. Oh, I pressed spacebar and it started to move my timeline. Ooh, Alt left click to grab your loop cuts, and there we've got a stalk. Try not to just go one way though. Let's grab that top face. I'll use proportional edit this time. G to grab. And rotate. Ta-da! We have a stalk. Cool. So now it's got a stalk. It'll look more like an apple, and people won't keep coming up and saying it's a tomato. Gets very offended. That's why he's all angry. Okay. Is there a disadvantage if two meshes are in one another? Overlapping, you mean? No. If you've got faces inside another face, so the faces that are all inside here, then they're wasted, and so it has to calculate those faces still, so you'd want to delete them. But generally speaking, when it comes to retopologizing, that's where you'd start worrying about those sort of things. Yeah, so you can have extra faces and things. It's not a tomato. How very dare you. Okay, so let's have a look at the Discord and see how you're getting on. Oh, that's cool, isn't it? There's some teeth happening now. Oh yes, it's all happening. Okay, so we got up to here, didn't we? Oh, they're all jumping through. It's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good stuff, isn't it? It's hard to look at. It's hard to look at that. Very nice. Dorian the Bunny, Owen Sunny Ray, and Minotto 200, and Morgan. Well done to all of you. Adre Lasbard. It's really good, really good. Oh, that came up on my other screen and it's kicked off my chat. And then we got, whoa, I want to see it from the front as well, so I can see what the face looks like from the front. It's cool. Loving the banana. Someone thought it was a pepper. MacBook Air, and it's doing all right with the trackpad. That's interesting, isn't it? You see what you can do? I'm glad about that, because the course I'm making at the moment is doing sculpting, and I'm worried about whether I should be saying don't use a mouse and stuff, but people manage with a mouse. I mean, you can't get to super duper levels with a mouse, I wouldn't say, but if you're getting to those levels, then you probably want to invest in what do you call it? I like this Man Who, using those sort of sharp lines, the crease brush, or reverse crease, and the pinch brush makes it look cool, doesn't it? I'm liking it. Excellent. Dorian the Bunny, nice work. Some really cool looking teeth here. I'm glad it's working out, actually, because I was thinking, oh, is this looking a bit silly and not working? But it is working all right. Now, the next bit, I would say, managing with the trackpad. I mean, that's awesome, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Demo games, indeed. Everyone is so cool and supportive on here. It's fun doing this. That's why I love doing this, and I always look forward to doing this. Right, so I suppose actually we should do the other teeth as well, but the easy way for that, I'm in layout mode, so I'll just select this, Shift D to duplicate, put it in, and scale it down. Let's just do that. It's much quicker. I mean, you can adjust them if you like, and if you want your character to look amazingly cool and individual teeth and stuff, then go for it. Hello Milan, nice to see you on here, and always donating, and always so kind. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated as always. How are you coping recently with all that's going on? When to use multi-res versus voxel? Yeah, I mean, I use the multi-res a lot for things like clothing and armor, but
thank you very much.
But something like the Dyn Topo, where I want to pull things around, you can be more free and artistic with that. But the multi-res is looking better and better each time I see it. But generally speaking, Dyn Topo, when you want to do, let's say like a face, you'd have to sort of box model it first and then start doing multi-res and then keep applying the base. So Dyn Topo, where it's really complicated shapes, and something like armor, clothing and stuff, that's when I'd use the multi-resolution modifier. It's really good, the multi-resolution modifier. It certainly is. What sub do I need to sculpt? Subdivision, what do you mean? Sub do I need to sculpt? Not sure what you mean there, Polybloom. Oh, Karen, nice to see you again. I worked with the mouse only for years, but when I finally got to my tablet, I do see major advantage when it comes to painting and sculpting. Yeah, painting I think is even harder with a mouse, isn't it? I don't know, but that's what people have said to me. That nose looks like it got the wrong side of Rocky Balboa. Indeed, that's the whole point. It's supposed to look all warped and weird. We'll do that with the eyes in a second as well. So yeah, we are duplicating our teeth. Shift D to duplicate. I'll rotate these slightly in the Z. And scale them down. And then I will be really lazy. Grab these. Shift D to duplicate. And in the Z. And I will rotate in the Y 180 degrees. And because of the mirror, it's going all weird, isn't it? But we can grab those and bring them out there and then start moving them about. It's just doing basic rotations and stuff. So I'll move these around a fair bit. So these ones come out. Oh, I'm on the other side, aren't I? So these come out here and I'll scale them down a touch. It's not looking so great now. I'm trying to think how I want these. I mean, I could go quite weird. Yeah. Anyway, just sort of just reposition your stuff. You don't need me telling you how to position your teeth, do you? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. How are we doing? It's kind of working, isn't it? I mean, I probably need a bit more repositioning. Let's scale that a little bit. So I'm imagining it comes outside the lip here, and this one comes outside the lip there, but these ones would sort of join up to each other. They don't look too bad, do they? Probably need to just come out a little bit. How are we doing? Not too bad, not too bad. Is that working? I don't know that that's working really. These ones might be a bit too big, and then maybe I should just go smaller there. I mean, have a play. See how you get on with yours. And at this point, you see, yeah, what I haven't done is that sort of classic curve going around there, because teeth curve quite a lot, really, and that's something to bear in mind. Lots of people do them sort of flat, and there's a lot more curve than you'd think. But these aren't, yeah, they're not really working, those ones. I'm going to have to bring those in terms of scale, I think. It was better as it was there. Tricky stuff. I think we want that one back as well. Yeah, you see, that's what I'm. Yeah, when I'm talking about make sure it curves round. It's very square at the front here, and it hasn't got that curve that it should have. And that's my sculpt of my apple should come round much further. And I've actually suddenly looked at my reference images there, and let's have a look at those. Can you see how much of the side this mouth is taking? And your mouth should, the jawline goes all the way back here, and you've got your molars all the way back to here, haven't you? So think about that if you had a mouth that opened weirdly like this, definitely. So yeah, my shape is a bit off. I mean, obviously it's a caricature, so it doesn't really matter so much, and it's kind of looking a bit fun, isn't it? But if we're thinking a bit more anatomically, then we should be thinking about those sort of things. Right, so using the grab brush, I'm going to come back just a touch with these areas here. Oh, I haven't got mirror on though. Common mistake, that is. Common mistake. I'm just sort of looking at questions. Everybody good? I'll take a look at the Discord again in a second. There we go. As I bring this round, it's making more sense now, isn't it? And it's looking a better character. Not so much up there, but the jawline. And then I can bring the teeth around, and I think that's going to work a lot better. That's why it's important to bring your teeth in before you start doing any more detail on your character, if you are going to do more. Save, please. Yeah, okay then. Seeing as you said it so nicely. Cool. Let's move my teeth again, back to layout mode, and start moving these around. Yeah, maybe I'll scale this one up as well. Some weird looking teeth. Weird looking teeth. Kind of working. Kind of. Now I feel like these ones need bigger. Oh, that's the wrong way. It's because I'm clicking the wrong one. Because I move those around so weirdly. It's tricky, isn't it? Getting that sort of cool look with the teeth. But they were getting there. We're sort of getting there anyway. They don't really go around enough, but we're having fun. Online school, oh dear. It's nice to see you, Penelope Castillo. Thanks for joining us. Raging Goblin. Warhammer Mini, yeah. Do that for the next stream. Is your dog sleeping? He's quite calm at the moment, isn't he? A bit surprising. He's downstairs. Yeah, so Alien is the monthly challenge. Warhammer, I mean, it is Alien, isn't it? So Warhammer is very Alien, that would work. Ah, yes, well, the mirror modifier, I've got mirror object is the cube. So I should rename these things, but I've turned that into my outline. The cube is the apple, so it's using the cube as the mirror modifier. Cool stuff, eh? Pre-deep Kapoor, beginner to blender. Nice to see you here. It's probably a bit more intermediate this level, isn't it? But it's not too difficult, I wouldn't say. Hopefully people would agree with me there. It's not excessively tough, as long as you're sort of following the steps. I think we got up to Manahu, didn't we? So Dorian the Bunny there. Did we get up to Manahu? Or, oh, no, there's some more, isn't there? Where do we get up to? Ah, there we go. I'm not sure actually now. But we'll just quickly flick through. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Blossa Nova. I like that one. They're looking cool, aren't they? Looking at these. Oh, yeah, so that was, we were talking about with the trackpad. That's hard work, those. And yeah, it was Manahu we got up to, wasn't it? Awesome stuff. Now my finger hurts from the trackpad. Apple turned into a dinosaur creature. Ah, cool. Yeah, so remesh at this point to a lower voxel level, so you got a bit more detail to work with. It's cool. That's nice, isn't it? It looks a lot like mine, actually, doesn't it? Really good. Tough times at the dentist. No, you actually pulled up the teeth from your mesh, which is one way to do it. I find that quite hard, though. Looking good, Dorian the Bunny? The Bunny, isn't it? I always want to say bunny, because I read that as bunny. My dyslexia again. I got called for some work while I was still on the mouth sculpt. Missed the rest. No problem. Looking good, Hercules Art. And Minotto 200. Whoa, scary stuff. Loving it. Okay, how long we got left? Not too long. So I'll just quickly do a bit more work around the lips and crease around the eyes. So on our main object, back into sculpt mode. And we just need to sort of pull around a little bit, make sure we've got enough space for each of the teeth. And maybe flesh out this lip slightly, especially down here. I feel like it needs more sort of fleshing out and digging in there as if the gums are coming out. So I'm going into the mesh slightly. That's a bit weird. Probably ought to do, yeah. So I'm going to do, what is it? Do you know, I can't remember what it is now. It's, it's this box mask. What's the shortcut to it? Not box mask, box hide. And it's, I haven't used this for so long, but it's a good point to use it now. I've hidden too much. gone too far. So box hide. Yeah, not enough now. Oh, it's so difficult, isn't it? Box hide. There, the box hide tool, useful. Especially here, because now I can come in, get my draw brush and put some gums in at the back here. Oh, it is working. Thought it wasn't working for a moment then. So it's doing some gums around these teeth. Needs quite a lot of gum around that tooth though, doesn't it? Bit of smoothing out. The smooth is having a bigger effect because it's being stretched. So remesh. Remesh. Ah, that was interesting. It took away my... Of course it took away my hide, didn't it? Because it remeshed it. Interesting stuff, isn't it? Have some gums coming up here as well. A bit of a tongue too, yeah. Mouse over the object and hit F2 to rename. Ah, do you know, I didn't know that. Ah, that's very cool, isn't it? Did not know about that one. Mouse over... Oh, is that in... probably in object mode. Hang on, I'm just going to remesh this because I want to try that out. There we go, he's got some weird sort of gums poking through now. I might go a little bit lower with my remesh, so 0.0075 remesh. Just to tidy these areas up a bit. But now we're on to 300,000 faces, so watch out a little bit if you're maybe on a weaker computer. But we're sort of getting there with our shape. And now at the top as well. Oh yeah, I was going to go into layout mode, and let's just see. So if I mouse over an object and press F2. Oh, look at that. Oh, gold star for Corey S. So your first of the day, actually. You do loads of stuff, but it's the first gold star. So I'm going to rename this Apple. I did not know about that. That's lovely, isn't it? Do you use Inkscape for texturing? Inkscape just released Major Build. Didn't know that. I haven't used... In fact, used Inkscape ages and ages ago, but not recently at all. Critter sometimes, but mainly Photoshop, just because... I've got it available. Back to Sculpt mode, and let's think about these gums. Oh, watch out! Don't do too much back there. I mean, I'm probably going too far, aren't I? I'm going too detailed because really I should be concentrating on the eyes and stuff, because this is sort of working as is. But sometimes you just can't help it. You think, oh, I want to have a go at this. I want to do this. I want to do this bit. So I'm just drawing in the gums really quickly now. Really quickly. So he's got some gums there, yep. And some gums there. Get the crease. Where's my crease? There it is. Go across there. And there's some gums. And across there. And a bit of draw there. See if that one's sticking out more. Cool. Sort of working. A little bit rough, that, isn't it? But it's just about working. I mean, gums don't really work like that very well. In fact, they don't work like that at all, do they? They don't come over, they go up. In fact, looking at my reference images, I've got that completely wrong. So it's more... I mean, it's not going to make too much difference, so I'm not going to worry too much, but they actually sort of come up like that around the tooth more. That's the problem, though, and I haven't got enough mesh. Yeah, it's alright. There we go. They come up there, down there. That's sort of working, isn't it? Haven't really got time to go in and do this with masking and stuff, but it's looking alright. Gums as a separate mesh, perhaps? Yeah, could do. Yeah, probably would work quite well. Yeah, nice idea, really. Okay, so let's just... the last thing to do, really, sort of tidying up the mesh a bit before we maybe do a bit of shading and maybe the leaf, is just coming with the crease brush. And I mean, like Manahu was doing some nice stuff. Let's just go back to Discord and see how we're getting on. So there we go, Manahu's there. But I'll come back to that after having a quick look at everybody else's. So we got up to here, hadn't we? So Ben looking excellent. Let's just quickly go in on that a bit more. Looking nice. Hang on. There we go. I was going to click on it. 3D basket looking cool there. And Erwin Sunny Ray, got some nice teeth going on. These are brilliant, aren't they? Wilson. What do you think about this node setup I put a bit of metallic in there. I don't know why. Oh, I see. This is for your. Hang on. Oh, that's Minotto 200. That's. It's difficult to see actually. Open original. So we've got a mix shader. The color of the noise. You should use the factor of the noise. Not that it makes much difference. It's just grayscale, and that uses grayscale. Subsurface scattering on this. This is a bit interesting, isn't it? Yeah. And that's working. It does look quite interesting, doesn't it? Cool. I like it. Nice work. Then we got Blossanova, looking cool, liking that. And look at the viewport. There we go. Yeah. Oh, so there's this. Yeah. It's working, isn't it? So Manahu. Let's go and see a bit more about this. The screenshot's gone a bit weird. Oh, is that just the cutting out? So these sort of sharp lines, and I think they work quite nicely in some really cool stylized characters using that. And look at the stalk; it looks really good like that, doesn't it? So if we go across, and we'll talk about how to produce that in a second. I'll just look at the others, and then we'll come back to that. Jack Skellington, that's your first post on here. I've seen the name before, but first post today, isn't it? King HGH87. Nice work. Tin. Looking at there's those sharp lines again. Try and do a remesh, I reckon, because it looks like you're trying to box model rather than sculpt. So get into sculpt mode, remesh, and see how you get on. Penguini, looking good, and Manahu getting even more detailed. Oh, and there we go. It's really nice. I like the teeth are looking really good for that. Dre Lasbard. Really struggle with that name for some reason. Sorry about that. Okay, so so with the crease brush, you probably want to go a bit more detailed. So let's go to 0.005 and remesh, and let's see how detailed we're going. Okay, so you can sort of start seeing now the voxels getting smaller. We're going to 1 million tries, so just under 1 million faces of quads, that is, and then you can bring your brush down and hold down Control to give it that sort of sharp look, and it creases it. I mean, you can always turn the crease up as well, and the pinch up, strength up, and then you get really sort of sharp lines like this if you want to. Maybe the strength of the brush, but the pinch being there is quite cool. Oh, it's still on. I'll just turn off for that, and then give it some interesting nostrils. And you get that interesting sort of chunky look, although I really messed it up there and made it look worse. But this, and you can do nice sort of dents in here as well to give it that sort of detail. As I was talking about earlier about how you'd use this in terms of like a pencil sort of thing, and you've got your sort of line art then happening a bit more. Now I've got symmetry turned off just for a bit of variation up here. I'd actually forgot, but then but then you'd sort of make it a feature, don't you? Make it a feature. And it goes all crazy and sharp, which can be, it's kind of a cool look, isn't it? Is that the best way to do that? I'm not sure it is actually. A sort of crease line like that. Probably want it coming around. I'm looking at my reference images a bit there. Oh, wrong. Hold down Control and get it out like that first, then Control out like this. There we go. Pressing the wrong buttons on the brush. So, same the other side. Again, I've got symmetry turned off, but I'm doing that on purpose now, didn't to start off with, because I want to just create a bit of variation up here. So doing these sort of sharp lines like this and getting that sort of cool stylized look, pinch a little bit up, strength a little bit up as well, pinch a bit higher than you'd put the strength up. I don't know if I made any sense there, and you can get those sort of sharp lines. And I'm holding down Control, of course. Oh, don't do that, that's the wrong way, isn't it? It might work a bit better with dynamic topology, I suppose. and it just sort of makes it, oh, going the wrong way again. Keep forgetting to hold down control. The strength sometimes squishes things in a bit too much, so you just got to watch out for that. But it does give everything that sort of smoothed out, more polished look, doesn't it? It is literally sort of polished style, isn't it? There we go. Sort of fun look there, isn't it? So hopefully I didn't go a bit too quickly there, but I'm conscious of the time, and maybe people want to do. Do you want to do some texturing of this? They'll be very rough textures. I've actually lost my chat at the moment, so as I pressed on the internet thing. Right, what do people say? Went off on one there, didn't I? Right, where are we? Gums a separate mesh was the last thing, wasn't it? Yep. Hello, Vishal Yadav. Nice work. Looks so smooth when you do it. Yeah, it's good that, isn't it? That reverse crease, as I call it, holding the control down and creasing out with a good sort of pinch on your brush. It helps. Is it possible to enable speed playback for the late joiner? Thank you. I don't think you can on your stream, can you? Speed playback. I think that's YouTube's end. But I would have it in a flash if it were available. Just seeing what people are saying. I need the Tony Hawk gallery music. Yeah, definitely. When I was showing I can't remember what that was. It's a really weird elevator style music, wasn't it? Mean crease. A mean crease indeed. Looks better with the sharpened edges. Cool. I'm glad you like them. Manahu reminded me of that. MHM brings out the character of the apple. Keep it away from the other apples. Don't want to spoil them. Oh, yeah. I like that. Yeah, he's not got a very much of an upper lip at all, actually. I think that's not worked particularly well. I'm going to remesh. Because... oh man, that's taken a while, that one. Should we save a work? Shall we? Let's come in here. I've gone way too thin. There's just not enough space in there, is there? So I'll do that first. Smooth it out a bit, and then reverse crease. Where are you? And oh no, I forgot mirror. That will not work. It's very difficult. If you don't have mirror on for major changes like that, it looks really odd. Try doing a sculpt without mirror on for major changes. You'll see what I mean. Crazy. Right, mirror's on now. Draw. Not sure it was even working anyway when I was doing it. I just don't think I've really done enough space there. The reason I'm going up to this edge is because it's slightly different light, so you can sort of see it's just from a different angle sort of thing. I just want to do another remesh. It's just, it seems really stretched suddenly there. Chug, chug, chug. It's weird, the remesh is struggling a bit there, isn't it? It's probably actually my topology more than anything. So now using the reverse crease, give him a bit of a lip. Yeah, I don't know if that's working really. Smooth out a bit. Sort of. Not particularly well, but sort of. Smooth it out just a touch. Anyway, I went off on one there. Is there a playback option under the gear? Cool. So yeah, you can rewind, speed up. Yeah, there you go. This looks apocalyptical. Apocalyptical. I'm not sure what this is. VeggieTales. Yeah, I suppose it will go a bit slow with that many faces. So slow it down a bit. Well, we'll start. We've pretty much got there, haven't we? Shall we do a quick leaf? I think in the last 10. I must admit, I want to go to layout mode and shade smooth these though because they annoy me. Shade smooth. Right, click shade smooth. Oh, let's see how you're getting on quickly. Where do we get up to? Oh, there's lots more. Oh yes, there we go. People liking it. Morgan, nice work. Bit of colour. Yes, indeed. Tongue would be really cool, wouldn't it? Haven't done much to the back side. Yeah, that's good. I like it. Oh yes, yeah. That's really cool. Really, really good. I like that a lot. Yeah, using the clay strips brush and probably in Dine Top, I'm assuming. Although you've remeshed it and then gone into Dine Topo. Tricky to say, actually. I don't know what I mean. Thinking about it. That's great. I love the style, actually. See, that's the difference, isn't it? When you've got an artist, you can see that Raf here is an artist from their earlier work, their 2D work, and then they're just quickly able to communicate things in 3D much quicker because of that artistic background. So it does help try and improve your artwork if you're thinking of going into sculpting. And I would say it's the way of the future as well, being more of an artist than it is being a technical person. So future-proof yourself and work on the art. Nice work, Manahu, looking cool. Nice work, Ben. Yeah, these are looking nice. Urban Sunny Ray looking interesting there with the funny. It's a rotten apple. Awesome. These are great, aren't they? Duran Dabani. Raf, lovely work. Okay, so quickly, a really quick way to do a leaf. Let's hope it's quick anyway. I'm in layout mode. I'm going to go to the side here, shift right click, shift A to add mesh plane. Okay, so let's move that just across to the X a little bit. And then I'll go to top view and I'll scale it a bit, scale in the X so it's the sort of leaf shaped-ish. Right, then I suppose I probably ought to do, I didn't do this last time I did it, but let's mirror it actually. I'll use the auto mirror. Edit auto mirror. If you haven't got auto mirror, then edit preferences, add-ons, auto mirror. Press auto mirror in the X, so it's auto mirrored in the X. So I go into edit mode, there it is, in the X. Now, yeah, some worms on that one would be good, wouldn't it? Yeah. Press K for the knife tool, and then draw a leaf. And there we go. Okay, 3 to face mode, delete that face. And we've got a leaf. It'd be good to go in though and go to vertex mode, I think. And I'll just cut down here. And down there. Is there a way actually in the knife tool to go from here and then go to the next one without having to press enter? I thought there might have been, but can't remember. That's a quad, so that's fine. Probably one down here actually. K for knife. Might not do, but it's not going to add many polys. And then grab these. G then Z. And GZ. Z. And then I'll go to proportional edit now. Oh, it's on already. So vertex mode G. Use my wheel. That's the only thing that I don't have on a graphics tablet is a wheel. And that's quite awkward. I think there's a way of doing that, isn't it? Anyone know how you'd use the wheel if you're using a graphics tablet, what you'd press? That looks awful. Okay, so it's sort of leaf-esque. That's not very good actually, is it? Oh, there's the Windows button happening there. Okay, we're pretty much there. So we got a leaf. Page up and down, is that right? Someone showed me that before. I might have even asked a question on here before, but thanks for that. So G to grab and page up and down. Oh no, I haven't got proportional on. So G to grab, page up and down. Oh, hey, look, there it is. Gold star for you, Corey S. You might have even told me that before, I think. Okay, so we'll add modifier, subdivision surface modifier to smooth it out a bit. Ta-da, leaf. Right click shade smooth. In fact, add modifier, solidify modifier to give it some solidity, if that's even a word. Right, let's minimize some of these so I can actually see them. Minimize the mirror, subdivision surface, here's the solidify, give it a bit more thickness. Subdivision surface modifier up a little bit. Where's it gone? There you go. It's probably a bit too smooth now, isn't it? Anyway, scale it down. G to grab. In fact, I want to click on that point there. Shift S, cursor to selected. So move my 3D cursor there. Then into object mode, right click, set origin to 3D cursor. Handy stuff there. I know I'm going a bit quick now, but I'm sort of running out of time. I do set myself a 2-hour sort of limit because otherwise I'll just go a bit crazy and mental. Because you just get a bit tired. And also, I kind of need the loo. Silly person. I mean, you could have a bit more of a sort of stem to this, couldn't you? I suppose I could just make one. Let's do that. So K for knife tool. To there. E to extrude. And Control R. And making this really rubbish stem. Oh, I've still got the proportional edit on. Oh, not that one. There we go. Looks a bit like a stem, doesn't it? Looks a beautiful leaf now, doesn't it? Right. Rotate Z. Something like that. Something like that. Probably a bit smaller, actually. And the very top, I just feel like that needs to be rotated. And then we have a crazy looking apple. Quite fun, really, isn't it? Let's see how you've got on. Back to Discord. Might do a bit of colouring in. So, where were we? Yes, we're up to Manahu and Ben there. Probably done with the face. Yes, it's looking really cool. Well done, tint. And some dreadful teeth there in terms of he needs some dental hygiene. Loving it. I like the creases as well. That's a good touch, that. Looking good. Why did I make eyes like this? Excellent. Oh, and you've done the slight rigging there as well. Awesome stuff. 3D basket. Nice work. It's got some funky eyebrows there. Love it. So fine. Excellent. Nice work. Oh, did I lose connection at all, or are we alright? No, I think we've been okay. In fact, it will tell me. No, we haven't lost any frames, so that was just for you. To scare me like that, scare me. Although it is near the end now, so we're getting there. I suppose we'll do a little bit. Shall we do a little bit of texturing? So, I mean, it's high poly, so you'd really reduce this. And in fact, you can probably do a decimate and get away with a lot. So let's just try it. Let's try a decimate. So the reason I'm not using the remesh is because decimate actually does a better job at this, but it creates really dreadful topology. So I bring this down. I'm probably going to have to type that in actually because it struggles to work with that. It's quite a high face count actually, isn't it? 1.5 million. So you can see it hasn't lost any detail really, and I've not halved the faces. I mean, the fact that it's crashing. It's crashing on me. I've killed it. Let's actually type in 0.5 so we get half the faces. Right. 0.5. And press enter and then wait for it to chug its way through it. I need to get a new computer, don't I? So really we've lost so little quality, but we've reduced the polygon count by half. Please save. Yeah, that's probably a good idea, isn't it? Do you know that's not a bad idea, is it? It'd be a bit annoying to lose it. But to be fair, I'm just prattling around anyway, having a little bit of fun. It just shades me that one. So if I lost this work, I wouldn't be mortified because it's not my strongest portfolio piece. I'll apply that decimate, and we'll see. So yeah, worth decimating just for smaller file sizes. If you finish, that is, and it will sort of render a bit faster and things. So worth doing. We could probably even go lower than that. So if I decimate again, because that's the cool thing, you can sort of stack these up a bit. And let's just drag this down. It's still not dragging actually, but I can go even lower. There we go. So I'm almost half again. So we're down to 400,000 faces. Do you know what? I'm going to apply that as well. Remesh modifier with a real-time slider. Yeah, cool. didn't know that. Yeah, 1.5 million polys. Yeah, probably start creeping a little bit now. So now I'm down to, so 400,000 tries. So it's looking a lot better, isn't it, in terms of viewport speed. So that's what happens after too long talking. Hello, D Animate TV. It's funny, you say, oh cool, I finally made it to a stream, we're about to finish. I say we're about to finish, let's do some shading. Let's get across there to the shading. I'll join these together. Right click join area. We don't really need those. Oh, not that way. Oi. Right click join area that way. And right click join area that way. And let's zoom in a bit. And just give it some basic textures for the sake of a bit of fun. So the teeth, I'll just create a new texture and give it a bit of a yellowy colour. Shouldn't really have white. It just doesn't quite look right. Tiny bit yellow. And then select the other teeth. What is the command to link the textures together? So I select this one last. This becomes my active object, and you can see the texture that I've made there, which is a bit too brown at the moment. So I've done that. How do I link them together? I haven't done a gold star for a little while. How do I link them together? I'm assuming everybody's screaming it now. They press... Oh, that was quick. Control... Hang on. You're telling someone... It already said it. Control L. Gang on Lord Jesus, it's nice to see you here. And Control L and then materials. And they all share the same material now. I just want to make that a bit more yellowy. But not that yellowy. There we go. Somewhere around there. I mean, obviously, I'd want to paint them, really. It looks a bit better. Our main, what's it called? I was going to say mushroom then. Oh, my brain really is going. Yeah, Control L. So who got the gold star? Weirdly, Corey S mentioned it before I even started doing it. So I don't know if I can give him a gold star. Maybe a platinum star for that one. Tin Cisco, you were first on my list here. Greyjack Gaming, nice to see you on here. It is Control plus L, indeed. So let's make this green. So get across to the green. And probably a little bit darker. And what sort of green apple about there? Oh, actually, my reference image is a red apple, so maybe I should do a red apple this time. But then it might look like a tomato, so no way, we're not doing that. It has to look like an apple. Probably a little bit yellowy. There we go, Granny Smith. I mean, it's not very good with just block colours like this, but what we can do, but wait, there's more. Shift A to add input ambient occlusion. I'll copy the text from here. You can click and drag. Like that. Copy the texture, plug that in, and make sure ambient occlusion is turned on. And there we got some ambient occlusion. Looks a bit better then. Looking cool, looking cool. I think a bit more shiny apple. It's probably about right, 50% actually. Maybe just a touch shiny about there. Crazy apple. I'll do the same for this one. So if I click on this and press Control C, and then the teeth, Control V, and copy the texture, I can then plug that in for some ambient occlusion on the teeth. Aha, lovely. Now the eye is slightly different. Let's go in and into edit mode and select the pupil. So 3 to go to face mode, Alt A to deselect all, C to circle select and select those. Oh, not those. Middle mouse button is to get rid of with circle select. Left click is to select, and right click is to come out of circle select. Now I can and give this a new slot. So actually we want to create a new and give this a new slot. And this one's going to have a new material as well. So it's got 2 slots. One is a white material and one is going to be a black. So slot 2, change to black. It's the same if you go over here. You've got 2 materials there. So I've got one that's white and one that's black. And I want to assign these faces to the black one. So I make sure the black one's selected and press assign. So I'm going a little bit quickly now, and these probably want to be nice and shiny though. Oh, that's rough, that is. Yeah. And slot 1, shiny. And shade smooth. Looking cool. Bit of ambient occlusion, I reckon. So Control V. Chuck that in there. Chuck that in there. And then we've got a bit of shading around the eyes. And then last one up here, new. Control V, ambient occlusion, change this to a brown. Hook that up to the colour. Ta-da, shade smooth, right click shade smooth, and last one, we need a green. Should I keep the apple? Or should he have a darker? Control V, ambient occlusion, change that to a darker green. Don't know why. It has to be a darker green. And ta-da, we got an apple. And we could give it a bit of subsurf, but with a green colour. I might copy the colour from there, and then just make it a tiny bit lighter. Then we've got some subsurface scattering. Want that more on the leaf though. Copy that across to there. Would you beat Mando Guru in a fight? No question. Oh, how silly is that? I changed the subsurf colour, but didn't actually add any subsurf scattering. There we go. Did I for this one? Yeah, I did. Not much though. There we go, a bit more. And there's our apple. Control spacebar to go to full screen mode and zoom in and see the glory of the despicable creature that is the crazy fruit, the alien fruit. It's good fun, isn't it? Let's see how you've got on. Oh, man, who like that? And it's got a bit of, what do you call it? Noise to it as well. Is that noise or Musgrave? It looks like noise. Looking good. So I'll just quickly go back to where we were. Hello, Jop Cornetto. Morgan, looking good there. I love the tongue. Silly. What am I doing? Click off there. Dorian Debani, all done. Nice work. Get some shading in there. McCallum 83. That's cool, isn't it? Oh, it's a big stalk. Nice nose, like that. Looking good. And that's looking cool. Made some progress on the other side of the face as well. It's a good one, actually. I like that. I like the teeth. Nice and stylized. In fact, I prefer those teeth to my teeth. Nice work. Hercules art. Looking cool. Probably a little bit over the top with the light colour of the green. Or is it just the shininess? Maybe a bit too bright and shiny. Perhaps some subsurface scattering. Manahu looking good there. Liking that. It looks very sort of chunky. Is that a word? Excellent stuff. This was good fun, wasn't it? It was always good fun. Love doing this. So, any questions before we... there's another one from Hercules Art. It looks very dark and dingy under the lights. It's probably a good idea to set up some lighting, actually. So let's do that. A few minutes left. Back to previous. Let's go to layout mode and just pull out another screen for some lights. Not the N and T. And let's go to top view. Right, I always try to change this to just a sunlight for really quick lighting. So change that to a sun. Change the colour to a nice sort of golden colour. And that's going to be our main light. So G, rotate some main light. So we'll put that on 2. In here, I'll change this to... yeah, that's a good point, actually. I suppose I'll change it to this one, EV, look dev, whatever you call it, with scene lights. That didn't look like it made much difference. So I rotate this, that should change. Yes, it does. Yeah, that's making a difference. I mean, we can put contact shadows on as well. Yeah, probably a little bit of contact shadows. There we go. And let's just make sure that's... Rotate that up. Okay, so that's our main light, and you can see a nice sort of yellowy glow to it now. Then we want the fill light, Shift D, and then rotate that round. And for the fill light, give it a nice red colour. A little bit of fill there. Not so bright, maybe 1. And then a dark, a strong backlight. So rotate around there from an angle, I think. And the backlight, I'd like to give a blue light and bring the strength right up. And there we go. Bit of shading. Got contact shadows on, haven't we? Doesn't look like it's got a lot of shadow. Maybe I'll turn the ambient occlusion up a touch. Oh, there we go. Ta-da! It's looking cool. Let's go back to full screen. Dun dun dun. I feel like it could be a darker green, actually. You could tinker for ages at this stage. This stage takes as long as the modelling, doesn't it? Let's get in here. Oop, not the... Not sure, actually. I'll do that. Yeah. I mean, it probably needs a bit of noise and all sorts going on. An alien apple would win against a donut. That's the main thing, isn't it? It's not the strength of the modelers, the strength of the model. And donuts are soft and squishy, and this apple is nothing but hard. Did I just miss you, Legacy Tofu? Sorry about that. I don't think no, I think it's just you. The stream's beginning to freeze. We haven't dropped any frames today. No frames at all. Oh, how cool is that? I'm actually plugged into the internet today, so I have no router issues. I've got a really long wire and just put it down the stairs. Only thing is, it looks too plasticky. It does look plasticky. Now, in order to change that, I'm going off on one now, aren't I? The subsurf ought to kill the plasticky look, but it's not really, is it? No, it just makes it look waxy, doesn't it? Less subsurf. It's tough, isn't it? It needs... It's tricky, isn't it? Because an apple... I suppose I ought to look at... The apples are pretty shiny, really. So apple... In fact, the reference image I'm looking at is about that shiny. But it just needs... it needs more colour. It needs more colour variation. I'd want to paint it on myself, really. Yep. Must do a pumpkin version for Halloween, indeed. Perhaps try the roughness. I did just do that, didn't I? But that's about, like I say, how rough or shiny that is. Yeah, that's Max, you see. That's an Apple Mac. That's the... Underneath every Apple symbol is one of these bursting it out. Do you think making the subsurf colour white would help? Maybe it does, actually. It's not quite white there, though, is it? There, that's the problem you get. But lighter subsurf does help a bit. Bring it down just a touch. Now it looks way too glossy, doesn't it? Still looks a bit plasticky. But yeah, we've sort of got the idea anyway, haven't we? Well, how does it compare to the first one? I prefer this one, I think. I mean, I did this in 20 minutes. And this one took 2 hours, so it does make a difference, doesn't it? Oh, and it hasn't got black at the bottom there. Hey, Red Dragon, thank you very much. I much appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
That's very good of you. Some noise on Musgrave. That's probably what I want to do. I suppose I'm kind of avoiding it because I'm thinking, I'm going off on one now. But okay, so color, mix RGB, get that in there. We need that. Hang on, what's the best way to do this really? We'll turn that. And put that to multiply. Get another one of these. Shift D. So I'm mixing the colors. So I'm gonna Shift A to add texture. Musgrave. I'm not sure Musgrave is going to work. I mean, I'm not fantastic at texturing really, but I think let's do that. Let's just chuck in a Musgrave. Put the factor in there. So the Musgrave looks like this. We probably want to upscale so it looks like that, and make these colors. So I'll copy this color into there and into the other one, but just make one really slightly different. So there's not a lot of difference. Then this one into the top version of this. That's a multiply node. Let's change it to mix. So mix node there, and into then the ambient occlusion is affecting it. So this is what the mix node does. Just a tiny bit, or maybe it needs a bit more. About there. You see that? I mean, that doesn't look any longer than Apple, does it? And then into the multiply to add the ambient occlusion. As you can see, not very easily. And then the principal BSDF. Is that multiply working? Yeah, I think it is, but it's not great, is it? Didn't really do much. I mean, I'd have to spend some more time, really. Yeah. And really, I'm more a sort of painting person than procedural texture. Change the background. Yeah, I mean, that could make a difference as well because it's quite shiny, isn't it? We're going off on one. It should do one with a bite taken out. Yes, indeed. That would make sense. Arazarok, how can I make frayed edges where I use procedural nodes? Then you would have to use a displacement modifier with your procedural modes. Maya M. Whole animation, yeah. It needs to sort of jump about. It needs a lattice to deform and then jump, and then its mouth opens and closes and chomps on things, definitely. That'd be cool. But we're going off on one. Okay, thank you very much for joining me. It's been great fun as always, and much appreciated to those people that donated. So we got Milan, Game Over, and Red Dragon. Very much appreciated again. And thank you all for joining in. Let's quickly look at the Discord. The last few then. So where were we? Oh, we've got loads of colours now. Oh, it's really happening. Let's quickly go through these. Where was I? Where did I get up to? Oh, we had loads. Okay, so leftover tofu, liking that. Looking cool. I like the sharp edges actually. That's working nicely in the leaf. 3D basket. That is a crazy colour. I'm liking it. And then we got Minotto 200. I like the lighting of this one, and yeah, that's really good. Good sort of character to it. That's one thing I forgot with mine, is what I wanted to move the eyebrows to sort of one poking up and one poking down. Yeah, I'm tempted to go and do it, but I'm not going to. And then Ben, excellent work. Just need some pupils. And then yeah, there. Oh, the banana's looking good as well. As in the colour. Excellent. This is looking good. Excellent stuff. Loving the sculpt. Well done, Raf. No happy fruit. No happy fruit here, Jack. Grey Jack. I'm like, hang on a minute. That reminds me of something. Nice work, Hill. Looks good. Paprika. It's a pepper. Oh, I love it. It looks, well, I'm assuming it's supposed to be a pepper. It looks like a pepper, and it's really cool. Love the teeth on this one. It's a bit sort of worried pepper. Escape from that. And then, oh, look at that. It's similar to mine. Adrelazbard. Excellent stuff. Penguini. There we go. Look at those eyes. Awesome stuff. Yeah. Oh, that is weird, actually. Quite like it, actually. That's your homework. Do that. Tin, looking good. Oh, creepy. Up lighting. That's makes things look creepy. Up lighting is where you shine the light upwards, using horror. Dorian Debani, look at him. Looking cool. Bit of ambient occlusion will help loads. Oh yeah, so I probably rushed that a little bit, but the ambient occlusion in the render settings over there. And you can put the distance up if you need a bit more. I mean, it sort of works with more, actually, because then it gives the, yeah. Oh, look at this from Morgan. Excellent stuff. I like the tongue. It's a bit thin, though. Scary. Oh, and Sunny Ray. That's just cool. When you take a screenshot, you should make it bigger on screen. Awesome stuff. Let's have a look at the other angle. I like the holes, actually. A maggot would have been really cool. Oh, it just makes you think, oh, I want to go a bit more, get further and further. Thanks, Mark Knight. Appreciate you joining us. Leftover tofu, we've seen, and it's a bit of ambient occlusion and subsurf with a little paint. It's looking really cool, isn't it? That's just cool, isn't it? I'm liking these. I mean, obviously we've seen these before, but we're sort of updated. And Hercules art. Oh, I love the eyes on this one. That's scary, isn't it? Loving that. And good lighting on that. Oh, we got a worm. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, that looks right. I'll have to open up the original to see the full screen. I still can't see it actually. Into a mixed node, into a multiply. Put the factor up there to put the multiply up, and you're there. Yep, that's all correct. And then 3D basket, looking good. I'm just sort of quickly going to go through these. Oh, we've got the last two. Looking nice there. Excellent stuff. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. I certainly did. It's good fun, isn't it? It's great fun. Any other questions? Good to hear that it's useful to watch. Hit the road, Jack. Love the green touch on the banana. That was really good, the banana one. Yeah, I like that. How often do you do this, Grant? I want to join in next time. Every Wednesday, hopefully. My internet hasn't dropped any frames today, so we're looking good. I've had loads of internet trouble. So Friday will be different. It won't be a follow along on Friday. It will be a just me talking and doing some probably painting. Whoa, I quite like that actually. That's probably what I need, is a normal map on there to just give it a bit of bump. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, realistic character creation. Maybe we'll do that. I tend to want to do more sort of fun characters, not quite as cartoony as this, but anime style or yeah, that sort of thing. Thanks, Mini Yimmer. Apple emoji, love it. JM Cooper, well done, done everyone. Thanks, Grant, much appreciated. Okay, so I'm going to sign off there. Thanks for joining me. And so remember, the current competition on the Discord server is Alien. So get across and join that and chat to people there. And Friday is my next stream. So watch out for that. Similar sort of time, probably around 3 o'clock ish, somewhere, maybe 4. But just watch out for that time, and I'll post in the morning to let people know when it is. And we'll be doing character creation there, full character, full model, and it'll probably be the painting of the textures. Thanks everybody. Very much appreciative of the donations as well, and thanks to all those who got involved. You make it that much more fun. So see you all next time. Happy blending.